My Immortal, Chapter 11. I said stop flaming up, preps. See if this chapter is stupid. It deals with really serious issues. See for herself if it's stupid. Brew, thanks to my friend Raven for helping me. No! I screamed. I was horrified. Bloody Mary tried to comfort me, but I told her to fuck off, and I ran to my room crying myself. Dumbledore chased after me shouting, but he had to stop when I went to my room, because he would look like a perv that way. Anyway, I started crying tears of blood, and then I slit both of my wrists. They got all over my clothes, so I took them off and jumped into the bath angrily, while I put on a Linkin Park song at full volume. I grabbed a stake and almost stuck it in my heart to commit suicide. I was so fucking depressed. I got out of the bathtub and put on a black low-cut dress with lace all over it, sandally. I put on black high heels with pink metal stuff on the ends and 6 pairs of skull earrings. I couldn't fucking believe it. Then I looked out the window and screamed. Snap was spying on me, and he was taking a videotape of me, and Lupin was masticating to it. They were sitting on their broomsticks. Ew, you fucking pervs! Stop looking at me naked! Are you pedos or what? I screamed, putting on a black towel with a picture of Marilyn Manson on it. Suddenly, Vampire ran in. Abracadabra! He yelled at Snape and Lupin, pointing his womb. I took my gun and shot Snape and Lupin a gazillion times, and they both started screaming, and the camera broke. Suddenly, Dumbledore ran in. Ebony, it has been revealed that someone has... No! He shouted, looking at Snape and Lupin, and then he waved his wand, and suddenly... Hagrid ran outside on his broom and said, Everyone, we need to talk. What do you know, Hagrid? You're just a little Hogwarts student. I may be a Hogwarts student, Hagrid paused angrily, but I'm also a Satanist. This cannot be, Snap said in a crisp voice as blood dripped from his hand where Dumbledore's wand had shot him. There must be other factors. You don't have any, I yelled in madly. Lupin held up the camera triumphantly. The lens may be ruined, but the tape is still there. I felt faint, more than I normally do, like how it feels when you do not drink enough blood. Why are you doing this? Lupin said angrily while he rubbed his dirty hands on his cloak. And then I heard the words that I had heard before, but not from him. I don't know whether to feel shocked and happy or to bite him and drink his blood because I felt faint. Because, Hagrid said, and he paused in the air dramatically, waving his wand in the air. Then swooped he in, singing to the tune of a gothic version of a song by 50 Cent. Because you're gothic? Snap asked in a little afraid voice, because he was afraid it meant he was connected with Satan. Because I love her! Chapter 12. Author's note. Stop faying, okay? Hagrid is a pedo too. Lots of people in American schools are like that. I wanted to address the issue. How do you know, Snap? I ain't Christian. Plus, Hagrid isn't really in love with Ebony. That was Cedric, okay? I was about to slit my wrists again with the silver knife that Drago had given me in case anything happened to him. He had told me to use it valiantly against an enemy, but I knew that we must both go together. No! I thought it was Hagrid, but it was Vampire. He started to scream, OMFG, no! My scar hurts! And then his eyes rolled up. You could only see his red whites. I stopped. How did you know? I saw it, and my scar turned back into the lightning bolt. No! I ran up closer. I thought you didn't have a scar anymore, I shouted. I do, but Diabolo changed it to a pentagram for me, and I always cover it up with foundation, he said back. Anyway, my scar hurt, and it turned back into the lightning bolt. Save me! Then I had a vision of what was happening to Draco. Voldemort has him bondage! Anyway, I was in the school nurse's office now, recovering from my slit wrists. Snap and Lupin and Hagrid were there too. They were going to St. Mango's after they recovered, because they were pedophiles, and you can't have those fucking pervs teaching in a school with lots of hot girls. Dumbledore had constipated the studio camera they took of me naked. I put up my middle finger at them. Anyway, Hagrid came into my hospital bed, holding a bouquet of pink roses. Enderby, I need to tell you something, he said in a V-serious voice, giving me the roses. Fuck off, I told him. You know I fucking hate the color pink anyway, and I don't like fucked up preps like you, I snapped. Hagrid had been mean to me before being gothic. No, Enderby, Hagrid says, those are not roses. What, are they goths too, you poser prep? I asked, because I was angry that he had brought me pink roses. I saved your life, he yelled angrily. No, you didn't, I replied. You saved me from getting a Paris Hilton pee video made from your shower scene and being wooed by Snap and Lupin, who masturbated, see, is dat spelled wrong, to it, he added silently. Whatever, I yelled angrily. He pointed his wand at the pink roses. These aren't roses. He suddenly looked at them with an evil look in his eye and muttered, Well, if you wanted honesty, that's all you had to say. That's not a spell. That's an MCR song, I corrected him wisely. I know. I was just warming up my vocal cordes. Then he screamed, Petulus Marengo mi Kermicli Romasio! For all you cool Gothic MCR fans out there, that's a tribute, especially for Raven. I love you, girl. Imoloto okeo! Then the roses turned into a huge black flame floating in the middle of the air, and it was black. Now I knew he wasn't a prep. Okay, I believe you now. WTF is Draco? Hargiriad rolled his eyes. I looked into the balls of flame, but could see nothing. You see, Anami, Dumbledore said, watching the two of us watching the flame. To see what is in the forms. Haha, your viewers' flames, get it? You must find yourself first, Kay? I have found myself, okay, you mean old man, Hagrid yelled. Dumbledore looked shocked. I guess he didn't have a headache, or else he would have said something back. Hagrid stormed off back to his bed. You're a liar, Prof. Dumbledore. Anyway, when I got better, I went upstairs and put on a black leather mini dress that was all ripped on the ends with lace on it. There was some corset stuff on the front. Then I put on black fishnets and black high-heeled boots with pictures of Billy Joel Armstrong on them. I put my hair out all around me so I look like Samara from The Ring. If you don't know who she is, you're a prep, so fuck off. And I put on blood red lipstick, black eyeliner, and black lip gloss. You look kawaii, girl, Bloody Mary said sadly. Thanks. Get it? You do too. I said sadly too, but I was still upset. I slit both of my wrists, feeling totally depressed, and I sucked all the blood. I cried again in my bathroom and put the shades on so Snap and Lupin couldn't spy on me this time. I went to some classes. Vampire was in the hair of magic creatures. He looked all depressed because Draco had disappeared, and he used to be in love with Draco. He was sucking some blood from a Hufflepuff. Hi, he said in a depressed way. Hi back, I said in a wookily said way. We both looked at each other for some time. Harry had beautiful red Gothic eyes, so much like Draco's. Then we jumped on each other and started screwing each other. Stop it now, you horny simpletons, shouted Professor McGoggle, who was watching us, and so was everyone else. Vampire, you fucker, I said, slapping him. Stop trying to screw me. You know I love Draco, I shouted, then ran away angrily. Just then he started to scream, OMFG, no, my scar hurts. Then his eyes rolled up. You could only see the red whites. No! I ran up closer. I thought you didn't have a scar anymore, I shouted. I do, but Diabolo changed it into a pentagram for me, and I always cover it up with foundation, he said back. Anyway, my scar hurt, then I had a vision of what was happening to Draco. Voldemort has him bondage. Special thanks to Raven, my Gothic's blood sister. WTF, you're supposed to writ this. Hey Raven, do you know where my sweater I? Chapter 13. Author's note. Raven, thanks for gulping me again. I'm sorry I talker poster of Gerard, but that guy is such a fucking sex bomb. Preps, stop flamaging. Vampire and I ran up the stairs looking for Dumbledore. We were so scared. Dumbledore! Dumbledore! We both yelled. Dumbledore came there. What is it that you want now, you despicable snobs? He asked angrily. Voldemort has Draco, we shouted at the same time. He laughed in an evil voice. No, don't! We need to save Draco, we begged. No, he said meanly. I don't give a darn about what Voldemort does to Draco. Not after how much he misbehaved in school, especially with you, Ebony, he said while he frowned looking at me. Besides, I never liked him that much anyway. Then he walked away. Vampire started crying. My Draco, he moaned. Author's note, don't you thick gay guys are like so hot. It's okay, I tried to tell him, but that didn't stop him. He started to cry tears of blood. Then he had a brainstorm. I had an idea, he exclaimed. What? I asked him. You'll see, he said. He took out his wand and did a spell. Then suddenly we were in Voldemort's lair. We ran with our wands out just as we heard a croon voice say, Alla Kedavra. It was Voldemort. Chapter 14. Author's note. fuck off, preps, okay? Raven, thanks for helping again. I'm sorry I couldn't update, but I was depressed and I had to go to the hospital because I slipped my wrists. P.S. I'm not updating till you give me 10 God reviews. Warning, some of this chapter is extremely scray. Viewer excretion advised. We ran to where Voldemort was. It turned out Voldemort wasn't there. Instead, the fat guy who killed Cedric was. Draco was there crying tears of blood. Snaketail was torturing him. Vampire and I ran in front of Snaketail. Rid of my sight, you despicable preps, he shouted as we started shooting him with the gun Then suddenly he looked at me and he fell down with a lovey-dovey look in his eyes. Ebony, I love you, will you have sex with me? He said. In this he is 16 years old, so he's not a pedophile, okay? Huh? I asked. Enemy, I love you, will you have sex with me? Asked Snaketail. I started laughing crudely. What the fuck? You torture my BF and then you expect me to fuck you? God, you are so fucked up, you fucking bastard, I said angrily. Then I stabbed him in the heart. Blood poured out of it like a fountain. No! He screamed. He started screaming and running around. Then he fell down and died. I burst into tears sadly. Snaketail, what art thou doing? Called Voldemort. Then he started coming. We could hear his high heels clacking to us, so we got on our broomsticks and we flew to Hogwarts. We went to my room. Vampire went away. There I started crying. What's wrong, honey? Asked Draco, taking off his clothes so we could screw. He had a sex pack. Get it? 'Cause he's so sexy. And a really huge you-know-what and everything. It's so unfair, I yielded. Why can't I just be ugly or plain like all the other girls and preps here? Except for Bloody Mary, 'cause she's not ugly or anything. Why would you want to be ugly? I don't like preps anyway. They're such fucking sluts, answered Draco. Yeah, but everyone is in love with me. Like, Snape and Lupin took a video of me naked. Hagrid says he's in love with me. A vampire likes me. And now even Snaketail is in love with me. I just want to be with you, okay, Draco? Why couldn't Satan have made me less beautiful? I shouted angrily. Author's note, don't worry, Enemy isn't a snob or anything, but a lot of people have told her she's pretty. I'm good at too many things. Why can't I just be normal? It's a fucking curse, I shouted, and then I ran away. Chapter 15. Author's note. Stop flaming, okay? BTW, you suck. From now on, every time someone flams me, I'm gonna slit my wrists. Thanks to Raven for helping. Ebony! Ebony! Shouted Draco sadly. No, please come back. But I was too mad. Whatever. Now you can go have sex with Vampire, I shouted. I stormed into my room and closed my black door with my blood-red key. It had a picture of Marilyn Manson on it. He looked so sexy in a way that reminded me of Draco and Vampire. I started to cry and weep. I took a razor and started to slit my wrists. I drank the blood, all depressed. Then I looked at my black GC watch and noticed it was time to go to biology class. I put on a short-ripped black gothic dress that said Anarchy on the front in blood-red letters and was all ripped and a spiky belt. Under that, I put on ripped black fishnets and boots that said Joel all over them with blood-red letters. I put my ebony black hair out. Anyway, I went downstairs feeling all sad and depressed as usual. I did some advanced biology work. I was turning a bloody pentagram into a black guitar. Then suddenly, the guitar turned into Draco. Enemy, I love you, he shouted sadly. I did not care what those fucker preps and posers think. You're the most beautiful girl in the world. Before I met you, I used to want to commit suicide all the time. Now I just want to fucking be with you. I fucking love you. Then he started to sing The Chronicles of Life and Death. We considered it our song now, because we fell in love when Joel was singing it, right in front of the entire class. His singing voice was so amazing and gothic and sexy, like a cross between Gerard, Joel, Chester, Pierre, and Marilyn Manson. Author's note, don't you think those guys are so hot? If you do not know who they are, get the fuck on her. OMFG, I said after he was finished. Some fucking prep stared at us, but I just stuck up my middle fingers that were covered in black nail polish, and were entwined with Draco's now, at them. I love you, I said, and then we started to kiss just like Hilary Duff. I fucking hate that bitch, and CMM in a Cinderella story. Then we went away holding hands. Lupin shouted at us, but he stopped because everyone was clapping by how sexy we looked together. Then I saw a poster saying that MCR would have a concert in Hogsmeade right then. We looked at each other all shocked. Then we went together. Chapter 16. Author's note. You know what? Shut up, okay? Prov to me that you're nut preps. Raven, you suck. You fucking bitch. Give me back my fajikin sweateat. Supposed to writ this. Raven, WTF, you bitch. You're supposed to do this. By the way, thanks to Brittany5655 for teching my Japanese. We ran happily to Hogsmeade. There we saw the stage where GC had played. We ran in happily. MCR were there playing Helena. I was so fucking happy. Gerard looked even sexier than he did in the pictures. Even Draco thought so. I could totally see him getting an erection. But it didn't matter, because I knew we were the only true ones for each other. I was wearing a black leather mini dress and black leather platinum boots with red ripped fishnets. Draco was wearing a black baggy MCR t-shirt and black baggy pants. Anyway, we started moshing to Helena. We Frenched. We ran up to the front of the band to stage dive. Suddenly, Gerard pulled off his mask. So did the others. We gasped. It wasn't them at all. It was Voldemort and the Death Dealers. WTF, Draco, I'm not going to a concert with you, I shouted angrily. Not after what happened to me last time, even if it's MCR and you know how much I licked them. What, 'cause we... You know, he gadgeted uncomfortably because guys don't like to talk about you know what. Yeah, 'cause we you know, I yielded in an angry voice. We won't do that again, Draco promised. This time, we're going with an escort. OMFG, WTF, are you giving into the mainstream? I asked. So I guess you're a prep or a Christina or what now? No, he muttered loudly. Are you becoming a prep or what? I shouted angrily. NB, I'm not. Please come with me. He fell down to his knees and started singing The World is Black by GC to me. I was flattened, 'cause that's not even a single, and he had memorized the lyrics just for me. Okay, then, I guess I'll have to, I said, and we Frenched for a while and went up to my room. Bloody Mary was standing there. Hajime mashite, girl, she said happily. She speaks Japanese, so do I. That means, how do you do in Japanese? BTW, willow, that fucking poser got expelled. She failed all her classes, and she skipped math. Author's note, Raven, you fucking suck. Fuck you. It serves that fucking bitch right, I laughed angrily. Well, anyway, we were feeling all depressed. We watched some gothic movies like Das Nightmare Before Christmas. Maybe Willow will die too, I said. Kawaii. Bloody Mare shook her head energetically, lethargically. Oh yeah, have a confession. After she got expelled, I murdered her. And then Lupin did it with her, 'cause he's a necrophiliac. Kawaii, I commented happily. We talked to each other in silence for the rest of the movie. Oh hey, BTW, I'm going to a concert with Draco tonight in Hogsmeade with MCR, I said. I need to wear, like, the hot set outfit ever. Bloody Mary nodded energetically. OMFG, totally, let's go shopping. In Hot Topic, right? I asked, already getting out my special Hot Topic loyalty cardy. No. My head snapped up. What? My head spun. I could not believe it. Bloody Mary, are you a prep? No, she laughed. I found some cool gothic stores near Hogwarts, that's all. Who told you about them? I asked, sure it would be Draco or Diabolo or Vampire. Don't even say that name to me. Or me. Dumbledore, she said. Let me just call her Brahms. OMFFG Dumbledore? I asked quietly. Yeah, I saw the map for Hogsmeade on his desk, she told me. Come on, let's go. We were going in a few punk goth stores, specially for the concerts in Hogsmeade. The salesperson was OMG hotter than Gerard, except not, because that's impossible. And he gave me a few dresses. We only have these for the real goths. The real goths? Me and Bloody Mary asked. Yeah, you wouldn't believe how many posers there are in this town, man. Yesterday, Lupin and Snap tried to buy a gothic camera pouch. He shook his head. I didn't even know they had a camera. OMFG, no, they're gonna spy on me again, I cried, running out of the changing room wearing a long black dress with lots of red tulle coming out and a very low cut with a huge slit. Oh my Satan, you have to buy that outfit, the salesperson said. Yeah, it looks totally hot, said Bloody Mary. You know what? I'm going to give it to you for free, because you look really hot in that outfit. Hey, are you going to be at the concert tonight? He asked. Yeah, I am actually. I looked back at him. Hey, BTW, my name's Ebondi Darkness Dementia Tearaway. What's yours? Tom Rid, he said, and ran a hand through his black dyed hair. Maybe I'll see you there tonight. Yeah, I don't think so, 'cause I'm going there with my BF Draco, you sick perv, I yelled angrily. But before he could beg me to go with him, Hagrid flew in on his black broom, looking worried. OMFG, Bondi, you need to get back to the castle now. Chapter 17. Author's note, I said stop flaming Destrio. If you're a prep and not read it, you can tell whether you're a prep or not by my quiz. It's on my homepage. If you're not, then you rock. If you are, then fuck oof. P.S. Willow isn't really a prep. Raven, please do this. I'll promise to give back her poster. Tom Riddle gave us some clothes and stuff for free. He said he would help us with makeup if he wanted, 'cause he was really into fashion and stuff. He's bisexual. Hagrid kept shooting at us to come back to Hogwarts. WTF, Hagrid! I shouted angrily. Fuck off, you fajacking bastard! Well, anyway, Willow came. Hagrid went away angrily. Hey, bitch, you look kawaii, she said. Yeah, but not as kawaii as you, I answered sadly, 'cause Willow's really pretty and everything. She was wearing a short black corset thingy with blood red lace on it, and a black blood red miniskirt, leather fishnets, and black pointy boots that showed off how pale she was. She had a really nice body with big bobs and everything. She was thin enough to be anorexic. So, are you going to the concert with Draco? She asked. Yeah, I said happily. I'm going with Diabolo, she answered happily. Well, anyway, Draco and Diabolo came. They were both looking extremely hot and sexy, and you could tell they thought we were too. Diabolo was wearing a black t-shirt that said 666 on it. He was wearing tons of makeup, just like Marilyn Manson. Draco was wearing black leather pants, a gothic black GC t-shirt, and black Vans he got from the Warp Tower. Bloody Mart was going to the concert with Dracola. Dracola used to be called Navel, but it turned out that he was kidnapped at birth and his real family were vampires. They died in a car crash. Navel converted to Satanism and he went goth. He was in Slytherin now. He was wearing a black warped t-shirt, black jeans and shoes, and black hair with red streaks in it. We call him Dracula now. Well, anyway, we all went to Draco's Black Mercy Benz. Get it? 'Cause we're gbuffik. That his dad Lucian gave him. We did pot, coke, and crack. Draco and I made out. We made fun of those stupid fucking preps. We soon got there. I gasped. Gerard was the sexiest guy ever. He looked even sexier than he did in pics. He had long raven black hair and piercing blue eyes. He was really skinny and he had an amazing ethnic voice. We moshed to Helena and some other songs. Suddenly Gerard pulled off his mask. So did the other members. I gasped. It wasn't Gerard at all. It was an ugly preppy man with no nose and red eyes. Everyone ran away but me and Draco. Draco and I came. It was Voldemort and the Death Dealers. You moronic idiots, he shouted angstily. Enemy, I told you to kill Vampire. Thou have failed, and now I shall kill thou and Draco. No, no, please, we begged sadly, but he took out his knife. Suddenly, a gothic old man flew in on his broomstick. He had long black hair and a long black beard. He was wearing a black robe that said Avril Lavigne on the back. He shouted a spell and Voldemort ran away. It was Dumbledore. Chapter 18. Author's note. I said stop flamming. If you do, then you're a fucking prep. Thanks to Raven for the help and stuff. You rock. And you're not a prep. Thanks for my suitor. P.S. The odor he's in Dumbledore swore is 'cause he's trying to be gothic. So dare. I woke up the next day in my coffin. I walked out of it and put on some black eyeliner, black eyeshadow, blood-red lipstick, and a black really low-cut leather dress. It was all ripped and in stripes so you could see my belly. I was wearing a skull belly ring with black and red diamonds inside it. The night before, Draco and I went back to the skull. Get it, skull? 'Cause I'm gothic and I like death. Dumbledore chased Voldemort away. We flew there on our brooms. Mine was black and the broom stuff was blood red. There was lace all over it. Draco had a black MCR broom. We went back to our rooms and we had you-know-what to a Linkin Park song. Well, anyway, I went down to the Great Hall. There all the walls were painted black and the tables were black too, but you could see there was pink pant under the black pant, and there were posters of poser bands everywhere like Ashley Simpson and the Backstreet Boys. WTF! I shouted, going to sit next to Bloody Mary and Willow. Bloody Mary was wearing a black leather mini with a good Shralut t-shirt, black fishnets, and black pointy boots. Willow was wearing a long gothic black dress with a blood-red writing that was all lacy and came up to your thighs, and black boots with fishnets. Vampire Dracula and Draco came. We started to talk about who was sexier, Mikey or Gerard Way or Billy Joe Armstrong. The boys joined in because they were bi. Those guys are so fucking hot, Navel was saying, as suddenly a gothic old man with a black beard and everything came. He was the same one who had chased away Voldemort yesterday. He had normal tan skin, but he was wearing white foundation and he had dyed his hair black. Dumbledore? We all gasped. WTF, I shouted angrily. I thought he was just wearing that to scare Voldemort. Hello, everyone, he said happily. As you can see, I gave the room a makeover. What do you think about it? Everyone from the poser table in Gryffindor started to cheer, while we goths just looked at each other all disgusted and shook our heads. We couldn't believe what a poser he was. BTW, you can call me Albert, he called as we left to our classes. What a fucking poser, Draco shouted angrily as we wee to transformation. We were holding hands. Vampire looked really jealous. I could see him crying blood in a gothic way. Get it? Way like Gerard. But I didn't say anything. I bet he's having a midlife crisis, Willow shouted. I was so fucking angry. Chapter 19. I'm not okay, I promise. Author's note. Please stop flaming the story. If you do, then you're a fucking prep and you're jealous, okay? From knock on, I'm going to delt Ermine Revose. BTW. Ever need a poor blood, so dare. Thanks to Raven for him to help. All day we sat angrily thinking about Dumbledore. We were so fucking pissed off. Well, I had one thing to look forward to. The MCR concert. It had been postponed so we could all go. Anyway, I went to the common room sadly to cut classes. Draco was being all secretive. I asked what it was and he got all mad, and he started crying all hot and angsty. Sensitive bi guys so hot. No one fucking understands me, he shouted angrily as his black hair went in his big blue eyes like Billy Joe in Boulevard of Borkin Dreams. He was wearing black baggy paints, a black MCR t-shirt, and a black dye. Get it? Instead of tie, because I'm gothic. I was wearing a black leather low-cut top with chains all over it and a black leather mini, black high-heeled boots, and a cross belly thing. My hair was all up in a messy, really high bun like Amy Lee in Gong Under. Email me if you want to see the pic. Accuse me? What about me? I growled. He grunted. You fucking bastard, I moaned. No, wait, it's not what it fucking looks like, he shouted. But it was too late. I knew what I had heard. I ran to the bathroom angrily, cring. Draco banged on the door. I whipped and wept as my bloody eyeliner streamed down my cheeks and made cool tears down my feces like Benji in the video for girls and boys. Raven, that is so our video. I took out a cigarette and started to smoke pot. Suddenly Hargard came. He had appurated. You gave me a fucking shock, I shouted angrily, dropping my pot. WTF do you think you're doing in the girls' room? Only it wasn't just Hargard. Someone else was with him too. For a second I wanted it to be Tom Ridd or maybe Draco, but it was Dumbledore. Hey, I need to ask you a question, he said, pulling out his wannabe gothic purse. What are you wearing to the concert? You know who MCR are? I gasped. No, I just saw there was a concert that a lot of goths and punks were going to, he said. Anyway, Draco has a surprise for you. Chapter 20. Author's note. I said I do not care what you think. Stop flamin', okay, preps? Thanks to Raven for the help. Oh yeah, BTW, I'll be on vacation in Transylvania for the next 3 days, so do not expect updates. All day I wondered what the surprise was. Meanwhile, I put on a black leather mini, a black corset with purple lace stuff all over it, and black gothic compact boots. MCR were going to the concert again, since Voldemort had taken over the last one. I slit my wrist while I moshed to MCR in my bedroom all night, feeling excited. Suddenly, someone knocked on the door while I was trying on some black clothes and moshing to Fang You for the Venom. I got all mad and turned it off, but sacredly hopped inside that it was Draco, so we could do it again. What the fucking hell are you doing? I shouted angrily. It was Lupin. Are you gonna come rape me or what? I yelled. I was allowed to say that because Dumbledore had told us all to be careful around them, and Snap since he was a pedo. No, Axe Helly. Get it? Hell? Can I please borrow some condoms? He growled angrily. Yeah, so you can fuck your 6-year-old girlfriend, huh? I shouted sarcastically. fucker, he said, going away. Well, anyway, I put on some black eyeshadow, black eyeliner, and some black lipstick and white foundation. Then I went. Then I gasped. Snake and Lupin were in the middle of the empty hall doing it, and Dobby was watching. Oh my god, you ludicrous idiot! They both shouted angrily when they saw me. Dobby ran away crying. They got up, though. Normally I would have been turned on. I love king guys do it. But both of them were fucking preps. BTW, Drake is moved to Gryffindor now. WTF, is that why you wanted condoms? I asked sadistically. See, I spelled that. Only you wouldn't give them to me, Lumpkin shouted angrily. Well, you should have told me, I replied. You dimwit, Snake began to shoot angrily, and then I took out my black camera and took a pic of them. You could see that they were naked and everything. Well, excuse me, they both shouted angrily. What was that all about? It was to blackmail you, I snarked. So now next time you see me doing it with my boyfriend, you can't fucking rat me out or I'll show this to Dumbledore. So fuck off, you bastards. I started to run. They chased me, but I threw my wound at them and they tripped over it. Well, anyway, I went outside and there was Vampire looking extremely fucking hot. WTF, where'd Draco? I asked him. Oh, he's being a fucking bastard. He told me he wouldn't come, Vampire said, shaking his head. You want to come with me? To the concert? Then he showed me his flying car. I gasped. It was a black car. He said his dog father, Sirius Black, had given it to him. The license plate on the front said MCR 666 on it. The one on the back said Enobi on it. I gasped. We flew to the concert hall. MCR was there playing. Vampire and I began to make out, moshing to the music. I gasped, looking at the band. I almost had an orgasm. Gerard was so fucking hot. He began to sing Helena, and his sexy, beautiful voice began to fill the hall. And then I heard some crying. I turned and saw Draco, crying in a corner. Chapter 21. Author's note. Fuck you, okay? You fucking suck. It's not my fault if it's spelled wrong, okay? 'Cause that bitch Raven. 'Cause it fuck you, preps. Whoops, so's Raven. Thanks for the help. By the way, Transylvania rocks rad. I even got to go to the castle where Dracola was filmed. Later, we all went in the Skull. Draco was crying in the common room. Draco, are you okay? I asked in a gothic voice. No, I'm not, you fucking bitch, he shouted angrily. He started to run out of the place in a suicidal way. I stayed to cry because I was afraid he would commit suicide. It's okay, Enobi, Vampire said comfortably. I'll make him feel better. You mean you'll fuck him, won't you? I shouted angrily. Then I ran to get Draco. Vampire came too. Draco, please come. He began to cry. Tears of blood came down his pale face. I was so turned on because I love sensitive bi guys. If you're a homophone, then fuck off. And then we heard some footsteps. Vampire got out his black invisibility cloak. We both got under it. We saw the janitor, Mr. Norris, there, shouting angrily with a flashlight in his hand. Who's there? He shouted angrily. We saw Filth come. He went under the invisibility cloak and started to meow loudly. Is anyone there? Yelled Mr. Norris. No, fuck you preppy fuck your little poser son of a fucking bitch, Vampire said under his breast in a disgusted way. Excuse me? Excuse me? Who said that? Yelled Mr. Norris. Then he heard Filch meow. Filth, is there anyone under the cloak? He asked. Filth nodded. And then Vampire Frenched me. He did it just as Mr. Norris was taking off the cloak. What the? He yelled, but it was too late because now we were ruining away from him. And then we saw Draco crying and busting into tears and slitting his wrists outside of the school. Draco! I cried. Are you okay? I guess so, Draco wept. We went back to our coffins, Frenching each other. Draco and I decided to watch Lake Placid. See? Isn't that depressing? On a gothic red bed together. As I was about to put in the video, my eyes rolled up and suddenly I had a vision of something that was happening now. There was a knock on the door, and Fug and the Mystery of Magic walked into the school. Chapter 22. STF, you prep, stop flaming, okay? If you do not lick it, then fuck off. I know it's Mr. Norris. It's Raven's fault, okay? You suck. No, just kidding, Raven. You Voking rock prep suck. All day, everyone talked about the misery of magic. Well, anyway, I woke up the next day. I was in my coffin, so I opened the door. I was wearing black lacy leather pajamas. Then I gasped. Standing in front of me were Bloody Mary, Vampire, Diabolo, Draco, Dracula, and Willow. I opened my crimson eyes. Willow was wearing a tight black leather top with pictures of bloody roses all over it. Under that, she wore a black poofy skirt with lace on it and black gothic boots that was attached to the top. Vampire was wearing a baggy, Simple Plan t-shirt and baggy black pants and Vans. Draco was wearing a black MCR t-shirt and black jeans and a leather jacket. He looked just like Gerard Way, and almost as fucking sexy. Vampire looked like Joel Madden. Bloody Mary was wearing a tight, poofy gothic dress that she had ripped so it showed off all her clearage with a white apron that said "bich" and other swear words, and MCR lyrics on it. Kinda like one dress I'd seen Amy Lee wear once. Darkness, who's Jenny, was there too. She was weaving a ripped gothic black dress with ripped stuff all over it and a lace-up top thing and black pointy boots. So were Crab and Goyle. It turns out Darkness, Diabolo, Crab, and Goyle's dad was a vampire. He committed suicide by slitting his wrists with a razor. He had raped them and some other stuff before, too. They all got so depressed they became gothic and converted to Stanism. OMFG, I yielded as I jumped up. Why the fuck are you all here? Enemy, something is really fucked up, Draco said. Okay, but I need to put my fucking clothes on first, I shouted angrily. It's alright, we have to go now and you look kawaii anyway. You're so fucking beautiful, Draco said in a sexy voice. Alright, I said, smiling, but you have to tell me why you're being all erective. I will, he said. So I just put on some black eyeliner, black lipstick, and red eyeshadow and white foundation. Then I came. We all went outside the Great Hall and looked in front of a widow. A fucking prep called Brittany from Gryffindor was standing next to us. She was wearing a pink mini and a Hilary Duff t-shirt, so we put our middle fingers at her. Inside the Great Hall, we could see Dumbledore. Cornelia Fudge was there shouting at Dumbledore. Doris Rumbridge was there too. This cannot be, she shouted angrily. The school must be closed. The Bark Lord is planning to kill the students, yelled Cornelia Fudge. You're not fit to be the principal any longer, yelled Rumbridge. You are too old and your Alzheimer's is dangerous. You must retry or Voldemort will kill your students.
Very well, Dumbledore said angrily, but we cannot do this. We can't close the school. There's only one person who is capable of killing Voldemort, and she is in the school, and her name is Enemy Darkness Dementia Ravenway.
Draco, Crab, Goyle, Darkness, Willow, Vampire, and Bloody Mary looked at each other. I gasped. To be continued.